microphone. And before we get started, I want you guys to all close your eyes. Everybody, close your eyes and smell the pizza. No, just really, close your eyes. And I want you to envision your dream life. What would you be doing? Where would you be if you didn't have to worry about money? What if you could make a full-time salary or more working extremely part-time hours? Would you be sipping margaritas on the beach? Would you be building sandcastles with your kids? Would you be going to Disney World? Would you be partying, clubbing all day, night long? Okay, that got the most response. All right. I know my audience now, okay? Would you be volunteering more? Would you be giving back more to the community? Would you even start a nonprofit? Okay, so now, close your eyes, close your eyes. I want you to picture what your life is like right now. How different is it? Are you stuck in a car for hours because you're sitting in traffic? Are you working for somebody else's dream? Are you saving up that PTO time so you can get one last vacation away from your real life? Right? Are you just tired? Are you just tired of living the same freaking day over and over? And he says yes. Luke says yes over here. He's tired, guys.
It was actually a premium skincare brand that was being sold in high-end department stores like Nordstrom's, Bloomingdale's, and we were the #1 selling clinical brand. And then these doctors, they asked the people that bought their products, they're like, how did you hear about us? And pretty much everyone said, oh, my mom used the products and she loved it, or my best friend told me about it. But no one ever really said, oh, the salesperson at Nordstrom's told me that I need to try it. And so the doctors are like, well, why are we paying a premium to be put on the glass counters behind in the department stores? Why don't we just reward the people that are promoting our products? And so it was that moment that they decided to take Rodan & Field's products off the department store shelves and put it into direct sales. And that first month in direct sales, they sold more than they did in the entire year as the #1 selling brand, #1 selling clinical brand in Nordstrom's.
Sometimes you just gotta begin to chase a dream that is bigger than you.
The flexibility and the way that we can work this business into our lives instead of having to work our lives around our business. For me, it's extremely important. I'm a mom, but my son Sam, we need consistency. I need to be able to pick him up from school every day and do the homework every day, and our normal routine needs to be the same, and I could work my business around it in off hours. So that would be it. The flexibility of the company and the way that we can work it when we want to and make it what we want it to be.
The big question, so you're a Rodan & Fields consultant, what the heck do you do? How do you make money? What does this business entail? Sorry, are you joking?
So what I do every day, it's just posting on Facebook. I get up early in the morning time, drop off my kids, 7:30. We have a set routine. Drop them off, and then it's my business. I put something out there. I share about a product or the business opportunity, maybe my before and after picture, something that's inspirational that lifts people. I post that, and it's every day. It's part of my business. I get my advertisement out there because I don't sit there and talk to people every single day. Sometimes if I'm lucky, I meet a new rep or something and I talk about it, but they just watch you. It's not about pushing products or pushing a business. It's about changing somebody's life, and you never know what's going to happen when somebody has a kid or somebody passed away, and you're wanting to change your lifestyle. So I post on Facebook, I send messages, and it's usually when my kids are sleeping. I get them into bed at 8 o'clock. And then that's when we start building our team. You know, we meet, we have Zoom calls, we encourage each other, things like that. And so that's usually what I do. I do lots of training calls like during my commute. Instead of doing an hour of just listening to the radio, I've learned to do something that empowers myself. Because before I didn't have like a great self-esteem. You know, I was kind of stuck in this mediocre life. And so I was just listening to the radio, and then now I download Audible, I listen to leadership books, so whatever I can do to make me a better person, and then listen to those training calls, because I know whatever I'm doing in my life right now is what's going to affect me or, you know, create my future for my children. And all I want to do is just make my kids proud.
Yeah, and you are making your kids proud. I love that you mentioned the training calls during your commute, because again, like, we're all so busy, so how the heck do we fit this into our life? Like, you're stuck in traffic, turn on that training call and listen to it. And like, we have so many amazing resources in this company, from leaders like, you know, the infectious disease Dr. Melissa King and so many others who have basically paved the way for us. You know, they've already created a formula for success, and all we have to do is listen to the training calls and we just duplicate what they've done. That's it. It's super simple. It takes work, but it's so simple, right?
I come from a very strict family, Asian family, and when I found out that I was pregnant, the women and, you know, my mom and all my aunts and everything had a plan. I had a plan. I had a plan that right after high school, you know, I was going to go to college. I went to either become a nurse, go to the medical field, legal field, whatever. Since I got pregnant, my dad, my grandfather, all the men are very strict. They had actually, the women had come up with a plan where they would send me off to Maryland to live with my aunt and act like I was going to go to college. I was very, very close to my family. I was very family oriented. My family meant everything to me. And I just didn't understand why they would say, you know, you got to move. You got to move. You can't do this. You can't let your family know, you know, the men in our family know what's going on. So I had to act like I was going to college in Maryland. But really, I had to go through a pregnancy by myself without anybody. You know, I used to have to take the bus to go to all of my doctor's appointments and, you know, just be all alone for 9 months of my pregnancy. And that should just be something that's just very, you know, happy to be carrying a baby. I mean, I was very happy. And sorry. But just, you know, I wasn't able to do what I had planned to do. I missed out on a lot of my, you know, sharing great moments, you know, being pregnant with my family and everything, and just doing it alone. And so, you know, after I had my baby, I had called my mom. I begged her. I was like, you know, just let me come home. It's time. I can't be, you know, hidden away and everything. And she flew me back. And anyways, long story short, you know, I flew back home and, you know, presented my son to my family. But being a single mom, I could not go to continue, you know, to go to college. I had to work full time as a single mom to take care of him. You know, you have to pay for, you know, having a baby is very expensive. It costs a lot to take care, and you can't work full time and, you know, get an education at the same time. So I worked. I did whatever I could to make money and take care of him. And I didn't have a real career, something I wanted to do. I would just do whatever I could find, you know, medical assistant, whatever it is, just to make money and take care of him. And I knew that I could have provided more for him. So I felt really guilty with that. So for about 19, 20 years, I was still a single mom. And then I got married and had 2 more kids. And I knew, you know, with my job that I had, it was pretty flexible. I could attend all the class parties, be there for them, whatever I was. Then, you know, as any company, you have layoffs and everything, and our company closed down. I had to start a new job. And from then, it wasn't flexible anymore. You know, I was slaving to the CEO and the executive team. I mean, I was so busy. I could not even request like an hour or 2 hours, you know, away, because we had like meetings left and right, and I had to be there at work. And I felt like when I was pregnant, with my other child, I could not be there for them emotionally, physically and everything. And it was just really hard. And I knew that something had to change. So I knew deep down inside that after I had the conversation with my husband and then this company came along, I knew it was a sign. I knew it was something I didn't want to attend and be pressured into sales, which is not sales at all. And learning about the opportunity and what it really entails, and it's not just about the products and making money and everything, but it really is something that I know that's going to help me and my family, because in the near future I do want to quit my job, and I'm going to be there for my kids and my entire family, and it's going to help me really financially.
Have you guys seen lash boots kind of floating around? It's like my favorite, okay? This one was just launched, so exciting. So these are tiny little capsules. They did a lot of testing in the laboratory, and it's actually 20 times stronger than retinol. Retinol is a gold standard for dermatology to help with the wrinkles and all that stuff. They finally stabilized it in this tiny little capsule. The reason why it's encapsulated is so it doesn't enter oxygen and it's less potent. So they really think about their design and everything.
So we went to convention last week and they announced the Bright Eye Complex, and it was perfect timing because we were in Vegas and everyone slept probably 2 hours a night. Yes. So after sleeping maybe 8 hours in a 4-week span, 4 days. I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna try this. So I applied it, and I looked up in the mirror like maybe a minute later. I had no dark circles under my eyes.
I am going to talk about Soothe, my favorite regimen. So Soothe it's used mostly for sensitive and dry skin. It calms, nurtures, it moisturizes, and protects your skin. This is what we use for Sam's Polaris, and then we also use it for Luke's eczema. And so there's 4 steps to it over there. So our step 1 is our gentle wash cream, and it calms your skin. And then we have step 2, that's your sensitive skin treatment. It nurtures your skin, and we all know it as the magical power cream. We use that. I carry that around in my purse with me all the time. Just step 2. Whenever the boys have an itch, we had a bug bite situation a couple of weeks ago where Luke got bit by an ant, and I put it on right away, and within 30 minutes, all the swelling and puffiness and the tenderness, it was completely gone.
Redefine is a great product. It helps with the fine lines and your pores, and also firmness. So I know that I've got a lot of skin issues right now, and Thank you. Well, it's good because of what it feels. So. But no, it helps with the firmness, appearance of your firmness, your pores, and your fine lines. So Redefine is a great product. With any of these regimens, you can always, once you start with one regimen, if you have a secondary concern, you can always use a second regimen. So you use one in the morning and one afterwards, one at night. So that's a great thing about that. The other product I'm going to talk about is the pretty new Active Hydration Serum. Now, who has not used this? Or who has used this? I mean, who loves it, right? If you want your skin to look nice, dewy, glowing, beautiful, I mean, this is the thing. Whatever regimen you're using, whatever concern you have, this will work with it, right?
So I just want to end it with this, guys. Like, Rodana Field is blowing up. We're just getting started, but we are blowing up. And I don't, yeah, we're not saturated because we're still growing. There's so much potential left, but eventually, every one of your friends, every one of your family members, they're going to hear about it. They're going to hear about Rodan & Fields. They're going to try Rodan & Fields. So the only question that remains is, will you be the one to share it with them? Or will you let somebody else do it? That's it.